Imagine you are a 14-year-old girl who has to drop out from school so that at 4 a.m. you go to work in a bakery every day. This is Phoenix's story. Zara, a single mum, a hairdresser. She sustained a living from her hairdressing, fractured her arms in multiple places. She could no longer go to work. Mandy, a 28-year-old firefighter who had to fight for her life more than the fiercest of fires. Do you know what these women have in common? They are survivors of domestic violence. They were victims of domestic violence. Now, at the outset, I would like to point out that domestic abuse does not only happen to women and to girls, it also happens to boys and men out there. It's a reality. However, there are alarming statistics that prove and show us that there's a large disparity whereby girls and women are abused. Last April, the NSO came up with the somber statistic that from the 3,000 callers in 2020, a whopping 79% were women who suffered domestic abuse. Globally, it is estimated that 1 out of 3 women suffer sexual abuse and domestic abuse linked to an intimate relationship. Now, as I said, I do not want to say that we should mitigate the way that men and boys are treated, because if we are to champion human rights, we are to champion human rights indiscriminately, irrespective of gender, male, female, irrespective of sexual orientation. But when we listen to these alarming numbers, we need to see what to do. And our legislators and policymakers are doing their utmost to reduce this number. And through the Istanbul Convention, we have our member states trying to put forward various laws whereby on a community level, on a national level, we try to cushion this blow. However, what does laws and regulations and conventions serve for if they are not enforced, if they are not put into practice, if we do not create awareness? And when I talk about awareness, we need to make people aware from a young age, from primary school. And this is why we believe in the power of education. So we start with education from a young age. Boys, girls, it's not okay to be bullied. It's not okay to be name-called. That is not fine. And these boys have to be part of our journey to smash and combat gender violence. The boys have to grow up to become respectful, young gentlemen, and help us pave the way towards positive breaking of gender imbalances. We cannot carry on this way, and we need to do this in harmony with men, of course. Why not? But we need to teach them from a young age. So when we talk about education, it's not just education to create an awareness. We also need to make sure our girls and the future women that they grow up to be are empowered to the most powerful tool, that of education. It's through education that we are set free, that we can live independent lives away from the perpetrators that can be in the future. It's through independence and living and learning how to grow and move along will we learn how to be self-sustainable individuals. So back to Phoenix, Zara and Mandy. So Phoenix was forced to leave school because her parents forced her to leave school. She was abused physically, mentally. She was coerced by her parents to go and work in a bakery to sustain herself, her siblings, and her parents. Fast forward 5 years, Phoenix came to FIDEM Foundation. She came to our services. We supported her through mentoring, psychological assistance, and most importantly, finance for her education. Today, Phoenix is at sixth form, second year sixth form, preparing for her A-levels. Phoenix's dream is to become a child advocate. Her dream is to go to university next year and obtain a degree. Zara. So Zara's hands were not broken from some accident. She didn't fall on the floor or trip. Her husband smashed her hands so that she could not use the most powerful tool she had, her hands, that took her to her hair salon and earn a living for herself, to live an independent life. Zara came to us. We devised a plan. Today, she is sitting for her O-levels, starting from scratch with her daughter. We provided her a laptop. We provided the educational tools, her books, her stationery. So at least we see a positive change. The first step is asking for help. Mandy is a 28-year-old firefighter who was abandoned as a young kid, severely abused as well. She entered the firefighting world, but today realizes that she wants to climb up the career ladder. She wants to improve herself through her career. But she realizes that without a basic minimum level, O-level standard of education, she cannot compete with her colleagues, she cannot compete with her peers, so she has come to us, and again, we are providing support, mental support, because if you are not fine mentally, you cannot progress, you cannot move forward. So we offer her a holistic package whereby we're helping her mentally, mentoring her, paying for her private tuition in math literacy, in English literacy. She would like to sit for her O-levels. It's tough, but we will get there. Like we have got there with another dozens, 50 or so at the moment we are, women who come to us to seek our support. Because we believe that it's through education, the transformative power of education, we can empower our girls, our women. I'll never forget one day, one woman walked into my office and recounted how her husband would beat her up and rape her, day in, day out. A pillow over her face until she couldn't grasp for one breath. Many times she thought her life was going to end, until one fine day she had enough. She went to a priest, spoke to a priest, the priest referred her to me, she came to me, and after many sessions, mentoring sessions, speaking, giving legal advice, what to do, not what to do, she enrolled herself at university. Today she's in her third year university, studying and going to obtain a degree. So in all of this somber atmosphere, there's this positive thing that comes out of it all, that we empower these women, we give them a second chance to get on with their lives, to build, to pick up the broken pieces and start afresh. Now, another problem we see is that there's a lack of access to education. It's all well and good that we have sixth forms, we have universities, colleges, online courses, it's great. But if we see that these women do not afford the commodity of having a laptop, having the tools to study, books, biros, pens, whatever it is, how many of us in here open our laptops at work or studying an online course without a bat of an eyelid? We know that we can just pass our day, take it for granted, without even thinking of it, the fact that we do have a laptop, that we do have the tools to help us work, to help us study. These women do not. They are not lucky enough. They do not afford a simple laptop. So we are there to help them, not only through the support system of mentoring, supporting them through psychologists, therapists, but also financially to help them pursue the courses that they would like to do. So back to the stories that I've recounted. We wish to empower our women to become dignified, self-sustainable, to lead an independent life. Let us empower our women to find the courage to get out and leave an abusive relationship. Let us empower our women with the tools to access education, to have a better life. Let us women be the Wonder Women for women that are suffering abuse. Let us be the catalyst for change. Let us smash the glass ceiling. Let us break gender imbalance. And to any of you out there, if any of you are suffering from any form of domestic violence at home, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, please remember, emotional abuse is just as hard and a harsh reality as physical abuse without the scars, but you have the scars in here. So if you need any help, we are there to help you. Today there are places. Go out, seek help. Speak to a priest, speak to a nun, speak to a friend, speak to a colleague, speak to a lawyer. Come to FIDEM. Go to victim support. There are many NGOs out there. Ask for help. Acknowledging that there is something amiss is the first step. Courage is the second step. Go and seek help. And to anyone in here or listening to this, I will close off with this final thought. Do not let the past dictate what you are, but let it define the greater person you are to become. Thank you.